Coach Chris Holtman from DePaul University. Welcome to the BCAM podcast.
Yeah, it's good to be here. Good to be here with you guys.
So, Coach, let's talk culture. How do you build a team? Like, what's the ingredients that make a great team?
Yeah, well, speaking from kind of recent experience here, we we had to start completely over at DePaul going into year two. We had an entirely new team in year one. And, to be honest, that's priority number one when you take over a program is establishing your culture and then reinforcing it on a daily basis. We all talk about it as coaches. You can't talk about it enough with your team, with your staff, with your program about those things you believe in and those things you want to reinforce on a daily basis. And then that's got to be reflected in the course of your habits and your actions.
Right. Well said. So if there were some cornerstones of like the DePaul culture, what would those, if they were three legs to a stool or what are the cornerstones?
Yeah, we really talk about our core values and then our floor values. So our core values are values that we want to be reflected in how we operate on a day-to-day basis. All right. And that's toughness, gratitude, respect, and service. And I think those things are kind of our core values. And our floor values are, we want to dominate effort plays. When people watch us, we want these things to be reflected. We want to dominate effort plays. We want to be a great teammate. We want to play together and have a team first approach. And then we often say, particularly late in games, don't flinch. We want to have great pressure situations.
Yeah. So here's one thing that I think young coaches really, struggle with, might be the right phrase, is holding players accountable to that culture.
Yeah.
Like, how do you go about establishing that accountability?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think there are so many great examples, to be honest with you, all across sports, in a variety of sports. When you look at championship level programs or programs that are successful, not just in college basketball or not just in the NBA, but you can really look at all different sports and say there are common threads with why those programs, why those teams are successful. Mm-hmm. And they usually have a level of those things we talk about as coaches.
Right.
Team first approach, a value that you're playing for something bigger than your own personal endeavor and agenda. And all those things we talked about, certainly an element of toughness, both physical and the ability to respond the right way and the difficulty, mental toughness. So you have so many great examples that you can share in today's world with your players on a regular basis that just reminds them, hey, this is what winning looks like.
Enforce that. So, Coach, our last question that we've asked all our coaches is about our theme this year is networking.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about the power of networking, maybe how that's played a role in either your journey or, how any advice you give to our coaches who are listening?
Yeah, sure. I think if coaches are, one great way to network is to do what is happening here. Come to clinics like this, successful clinics where you're going to be around 200, 300, 400 other high school coaches, college coaches, middle school coaches, boys and girls, share ideas. I think there's a real value in that. I think when you do quality work, that's the best way to network because eventually people are going to be knocking on your door and saying, hey, can I come watch a practice or can you share this idea with me? I think your work will ultimately speak for itself, but there's no doubt that the getting out and being around other coaches is a great way to both share ideas and build relationships that'll last for a while.
Coach, thanks for joining the BK
my pleasure.
Podcast.
Yes.